Yes, we all fall short and we all struggle, but God is still good and He is still working in our lives. He's willing to help us, He's willing to listen, and He's willing to be there for us no matter what it is that we're going through. There's no sin that is big enough that God can't handle. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Taelyn and I make faith-based content here on YouTube. And if you would like to join the family, please make sure that you subscribe, like, comment, all of that good stuff. And let's get into the video. So for today's video, I will just basically be going over things that I struggle with as a Christian. The reason why I wanted to make this video is so that not only could I hold myself accountable, but I can also let other people know that they are not alone in their journey with walking with Christ. Like, we all sin, we all have places in our lives where we fall short. And so I want to come on here on this platform and just let people know that yes, I am a Christian and yes, I follow Christ, but there are some things that I struggle with on a daily basis that I need help with and that I need guidance on. And so I just want to be vulnerable and just get real personal with you guys and let you know some of the things that I struggle with. So I hope that this video helps you guys and encourages you guys to know that yes, we all fall short and we all struggle, but God is still good and He is still working in our lives. He's willing to help us, He's willing to listen, and He's willing to be there for us no matter what it is that we're going through. There's no sin that is big enough that God can't handle. He can handle anything and He can overcome anything. I wrote down 9 sins that I've been struggling with. I know that there are probably more, but I wanted to just go over these 9 that I struggle with and just talk to you guys about, what I do and, how I can how I'm trying to get through it and overcome it. The first sin that I struggle with is gluttony. This is something that I don't really talk about, and this is something I feel like I kind of just sweep under the rug. But yeah, gluttony. I eat a lot, and I had to realize, and I'm still realizing, that my body is a temple, and God dwells in me. So His Spirit dwells in me. And so I need to take better care of my body. I need to drink more water. I need to eat healthy. I need to work out. And I need to get my body right because I need to be healthy overall. And if I'm not healthy, if I'm not, doing what it is necessary to make sure that I'm healthy and my body is, healthy, then how am I going to have the energy? How am I going to be able to, read my word and, do all of these things that, God has called me to do? How am I going to be able to do that if I don't have the energy because I'm not healthy? So I need to make sure that I'm healthy. But at times, I eat a lot and I don't really watch what I eat. I just eat anything. I drink sodas, a lot of sugary drinks and stuff like that. And it's not good for me, but I do it anyway. And so that's something that I'm struggling with and I'm trying to overcome because I do want my body to be healthy. But at the same time, I just catch myself eating and, just not being smart with my food choices. Another sin that I struggle with is complaining. When something goes wrong, throughout my day, or, just anything doesn't go how I thought it would go, I start complaining. I start just thinking negatively, and I just, everything I say is not positive. It's very negative, and I had to realize that I do complain a lot, and complaining is not good because I'm blessed. Like, things could be far more worse than what they are, and I'm sitting here complaining about something so small that, like, could easily be fixed. But in that moment, I catch myself complaining, and that's not good. I feel like when I complain, I'm not being grateful of, you know, what God has given me, because everything happens for a reason. And so the thing that I could be complaining about is definitely, it could be a way of God blessing me in a way. But in the moment, I'm too busy complaining, thinking negative, because it's not going how I envisioned it. So I'm working on that. But definitely complaining has been like a big part of, you know, what I've been dealing with, and I wanna get better at that, because, you know, I don't like to be around people who complain, and I complain. So yeah, I'm trying to, you know, really watch my words. Like, when something happens, I breathe, I woosah, and I'm like, God, okay, like, why is this happening? I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna, you know, if I get frustrated or if I'm feeling some kind of way, I go to God about it. I try not to, you know, say something in the spur of the moment, because 9 times out of 10 it's gonna come out, you know, in me complaining. So another sin that I struggle with, which I've talked to you guys about before, is insecurities and comparison. This is something that has been a big part of me ever since I was a kid. I feel like I've definitely have lots of moments where I've compared myself to other people, and I've just been very insecure about, you know, things that go on in my life. And instead of me just, you know, loving every part of me the way God created me, I'm sitting here comparing myself to somebody else. And that has really taken a toll on me. And not only, like, comparing myself has made me even more insecure about myself. Insecurity has definitely been, you know, something that I've been dealing with a lot, because, like I said, I'm not the smallest. I've always been the big girl, the chunky friend, you know, and it has definitely taken a toll on how I view myself sometimes. Like, for example, I've said this before, but I would feel as if I'm not deserving of love, of friendships, of, you know, just certain opportunities because of the way that I look. There was this guy that I liked in college, and you know, I was always scared to, like, you know, go up and talk to him on my own. I would try to, like, get my friends to do it, or I would go on social media, and text him or something like that. And I realized that it was all rooted in my insecurity and my fear of the way that I looked. I was afraid to go up to somebody and, you know, let them know that I was interested in them, because I was afraid that I was going to be judged because of the way that I look. Insecurity and comparison is definitely a sin that I struggle with. Another sin that I struggle with is idolizing or prioritizing things before God. For example, I would be on TikTok and I would be on Instagram Reels, and knowing that I need to get up and read my Bible and study my word and spend time with God, I'm like, oh, I can do that later. I want to, you know, just lay down, relax, and watch TikToks right now. That's something that I struggle with, definitely. For me, it's something that comes in, like, seasons, I guess you could say, because, like, sometimes I'm very, like, on my stuff. I'm very, like, okay, like, I'm not gonna pick up my phone until I pray and I talk to God and I read my word. And then there's some days where I'm like, I don't want to do that right now. I want to watch TikToks. I want to watch YouTube videos instead of spending time with God, because I just don't feel like it right now. And y'all, I feel so bad when I do that, but that's something that I do. I'm working on it. You know, I'm trying to I've been asking God to help me through that, because I don't want God to be a second anything in my life. I want him to be the first, the one and only, you know what I'm saying? I want to, you know, talk to God first, spend time with God first before I do anything else in my day. Another sin that I struggle with is laziness and procrastination. I definitely struggle sometimes with that, especially when I'm at home. Now, when I'm at school, you know, I'm doing my own thing. I feel like I have my own, like, sense of independence, and I'm able to, like, you know, do things on my own and just be my own person, get things done that I need to get done, stuff like that. I'm not lazy. I don't really procrastinate. The only thing I procrastinate on is, like, my work. But sometimes I procrastinate with, you know, spending time with God and reading my word. I struggle with that when I get home. I kind of just, you know, pray in the morning, pray at night, talk to God throughout my day. Sometimes read the Bible, you know, sometimes if I'm feeling like it. But, you know, a lot of times I'm just in the bed watching TikTok reels and all that stuff. So another sin that I struggle with is gossip. I'm not really ashamed to say this, but I'm a very nosy individual, okay? I like to know what's going on, and it causes me to gossip and open my mouth and talk about things that has nothing to do with me. And I really need to work on that. Like, even watching, like, reality TV shows, and I'm sitting here talking to my mama like, girl, like, did you see what happened? Like, stuff like that. Like, I gossip and I talk a little bit too much about stuff that have nothing to do with me. And so I'm really working on to not talk about stuff. If it ain't got nothing to do with me, I don't need to say nothing about it, okay? So that's another thing. Another sin that I'm struggling with is judging. Which, you know, I've talked about this before in another video, but I judge. I have moments where I judge, and I don't judge, like, you know, out loud or anything. But when somebody does something that I don't necessarily like or agree with, or whatever the case may be, in my mind, I judge. You know, I'm like, well, you know, why are they doing this? Like, what's wrong with them? When I have no place to judge anybody. Nobody has no place to judge anybody. And I've definitely gotten better with judging. But it's still something that I struggle with. I catch myself doing it sometimes. But we have no place to judge anybody. I'm telling this to myself, because the only person that we need to worry about opinion, or, you know, like, the only person's opinion we need to be worried about, the only person that we need to be worried about judging us is God. Okay? That's it. These last two things that I struggle with, fear. Fear is another sin that I feel like I struggle with, and anxiety. I've kind of made it a part of who I am, and it's not a part of who I am. It's a spirit that, you know, I need to break away from. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always been very fearful, you know, scared of, you know, what's on the other side. And just not having faith to believe that God is going to protect me and, you know, make sure that, you know, I'm not going to be harmed, or I'm not going to be hurt in any way, shape, or form. Fear has definitely been a block in my life, in so many different ways. Like, I'm 21 years old, and I have so many regrets because I have allowed fear to get in the way of my life. I'm tired of letting fear get in the way of my life, but I have conditioned myself and I've made it so normalized now that it's kind of hard for me to be able to overcome fear and anxiety, because it's always a default in my mind, thinking negative, thinking, what if, asking those questions to try to get myself out of what it is that, I need to do, because, fear gets in the way and anxiety. But I have to remind myself that fear and anxiety is not me. It's not a part of me. It's not who I am. It is a spirit. And I can overcome fear and anxiety. And then the last thing that I struggle with as a Christian is overthinking. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I overthink everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. Thinking about like all kind of different case scenarios, just so I can, like be in the know and like be in control, I guess you could say, so that I know what's going on. I overthink every possible outcome, every possible situation. Like, I've already thought about it, okay? I already thought about it. I overthink to the point where, I see myself I put myself in, false realities, instead of living in the present. Sometimes I catch myself not being happy where I am, so I'll daydream and I'll think about, other realities that I'm not even living in. Like, I'm just thinking about it because I want to escape from where I am, present tense, and which is not good at all, because it's a form of idolization, maladaptive daydreaming, and it's like a spirit. It's not, when you're thinking about a false reality, when you're, envisioning yourself in a false reality and you're not, taking the time to really embrace your present life because you're unhappy in some sort of fashion or whatever, that is a spirit, and that's something that we need to overcome. I think about just all kind of things, like even lustful thinking, stuff that kind of get me to escape the current reality that I'm living in because I don't feel happy, or I just want something else to think about, something to, just something to do, I guess. But those are some sins that I struggle with on a daily basis and sometimes in seasons. But yeah, those are definitely some sins that I have within myself that I'm trying to, ask God to work on. Just want to give y'all some tips. Just want to give y'all like a few, words of wisdom, and some things that I've learned along the way. But sin is only a symptom of what's really going on in your heart. So if there's a sin that you're struggling with, just know that it's not something that, it's not always external. Like, the sin is not always external. The sin could very much be something that God is trying to let you know that there's a deeper, like this sin is, showing you that there's something going on in your heart. It may be something deeper that you need to come to God about and ask, like, what's really going on. The only way to really overcome sin is to, one, go to God. You can't overcome sin. You can't try to remove the sin from your life on your own. You need to rely on God to give you strength to overcome this sin. And if you try to overcome the sin on your own, it's never going to work out. And you're constantly going to go through the cycle of going through that sin over and over again. And another way to truly overcome sin and fight the sin is to not only go to God, but you have to be open to being uncomfortable and embrace that change. Getting rid of sin, getting rid of something that you have, made so normalized in your life getting rid of something that has made you so comfortable, y'all, it's not gonna be easy. It's not meant to be easy. It's meant to put you in a situation to where you realize that the only person you can depend on is God. The only person that's going to get you out of what you're in is God. In order for you to truly let it go, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable and accept that uncomfortability so that you can be stripped of that sin, so it can truly be removed from your life. You can ask God all you want to remove the sin from your life, but if you're not going to put in the work to make sure that sin is being removed, it won't work. You have to be willing to put in the work, okay? Faith without works is dead, okay? Because you can stop your sin cycle, okay? And you have to remember that sin can only do and have power in your life for what you allow. So remember to not beat yourself up, okay? When you sin, when you fall short, because we do it every day, okay? Don't beat yourself up. You know what you need to do at the end of the day. Like, you know what you need to do to, overcome this sin. You know what you need to do to, get on the right track. You just have to be willing to do it. You have to get up. You have to brush yourself off. And you have to try again, okay? You're gonna fall short. It's normal. We're human, okay? Jesus is the only way we can be free from our guilt, okay? He came down here and he died for our sins. He paid the price, okay? So we don't need to be held down by the sin that we carry, because it's gone. You know what I'm saying? God, he took that. He took all of that for us. So there's no reason for us to hold on to it still. Okay? Like, we need to remember that God is so forgiving. And we just need to talk to him about these sins and ask him, how can we overcome it? Give him the space in our lives to help us and to, overcome these sins in our lives, okay? Because he's the guy for the job, okay? He's the only guy for the job, okay? Period. So, yes, remember that he's forgiving, and we just need to talk to him, and we need to be honest with him. He's always there. He's always willing to listen to us. We just have to put our pride aside. We have to put our guilt aside and go to him and talk to him about it. That's it for this video today. I hope that this video encouraged you to, be aware of your sin and know that you're not alone and that God is here to help you. He's not mad at you. He's not disappointed in you. He wants you to come to him with these things, and he wants you to just give it all to him. He's willing to take it. He's the guy for the job. He can help you through whatever you're going through. You're not alone. You can overcome your sin, okay? Your sin is only going to do what you allow in your life. You can overcome it. You have the power. All you have to do is go to God. So, remember that I love you guys. God loves you so much more. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed this video and if you want to join the family, please make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you share, all that good stuff. I love you guys. Thank you so much.